Good evening and welcome to News Hour. Coming up in this edition, over 300 media practitioners convene in Makeni to observe the 55th annual general meeting of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. Stakeholders from government, academia, civil society, political parties, and the media gather in Freetown to examine the prospects of introducing proportional representation at executive level. And the All People's Congress APC party mourns the death of its national chairman, Honorable Minkailu Mansari. All these stories and more lined up in this edition of News Hour. Stay with us for the next hour. My name is Daphne Zainab Kamara. First on News Hour tonight, Sierra Leone continues discussions on governance reforms and national cohesion. Stakeholders from government, academia, civil society, political parties, and the media have gathered in Freetown to examine the prospects of introducing proportional representation at the executive level. The National Roundtable, organized by the Faculty of Leadership and Governance at IPAM, seeks to explore alternative governance models aimed at promoting inclusiveness, stability, and sustainable peace. Our reporter, Alwyn Roy Fox, was there.
The National Stakeholder Roundtable on Proportional Representation at the executive level brought together a cross-section of Sierra Leonean society to discuss possible reforms to the country's governance architecture. Held at the Foreign Affairs Academy Auditorium in Tower Hill, the forum focused on how proportional representation and shared executive models could contribute to greater political inclusion and reduce the winner-takes-all nature of governance. Organizers noted that while Sierra Leone has adopted proportional representation for parliamentary elections, executive governance continues to operate under a system that often leaves sections of society feeling excluded from decision-making processes.
For decades, we have operated under a majoritarian winner-takes-all system. We must have the courage to acknowledge that this man does what this man does to our society when earning 51% of the vote yields 100% of executive control. The remaining 49 of the electorate is structurally shut out of governance.
The roundtable provided a platform for experts, policymakers, political leaders, academics, and members of the media to exchange views on international best practices and their relevance to Sierra Leone's political landscape. Various speakers emphasized the need for broad national dialogue and consensus building in considering any future constitutional or election reforms, stressing that inclusivity remains critical to long-term peace and democratic consolidation.
Over 10,000 public consultations, received over 150 position papers, had over 20,000 hours of airtime, had broad engagements across the country, and gave us a report which should be the roadmap for a new and improved constitution. Of course, we saw the 2017 white paper and the 2021 white paper. One thing was very prominent in the Cowan report. Cowan report, after all of those consultations across the country, after looking at best practices across the world, recommended that this country should transition permanently to the proportional representation system of government.
Well, you had to do it, because as he said, it will dismantle monopoly, it will open political space, it will restore pluralism, and it will lay the foundation for the multi-party democracy in Sierra Leone. we pride ourselves in today with APCOM.
The discussions also highlighted the importance of ensuring that governance systems reflect the diversity of Sierra Leone's population while maintaining accountability, transparency, and effective leadership. SLBC News, Alwyn Roy Fox, reporting.
The All People's Congress APC party has been thrown into mourning following reports of the death of its national chairman, Honorable Minkailu Mansari. According to information received, Honorable Mansari passed away on Monday, June 15, 2026. His passing represents a major loss to the party, APC, where he served as the elected national chairman and played a pivotal role in providing leadership and direction to the party during a critical period of its political journey. Before assuming the party's highest administrative office, Honorable Mansari served the nation in various capacities, including Minister of Labour and later Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, contributing significantly to national governance and policy development. As national chairman of the APC, he was widely respected for his commitment to strengthening the party's internal structures, promoting unity among members, and advancing its strategic objectives. News of his death has sent shockwaves across the political landscape, with party supporters, colleagues, and political stakeholders expressing sadness over the loss of one of APC's most senior and influential figures. The APC leadership and the Mansari family are yet to issue an official statement regarding the cause of death and funeral arrangements. The Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation SLBC is closely monitoring developments and will bring you further updates as more information becomes available. One of the leading 2028 Sierra Leone People's Party flag bearer aspirants, engineer Dr. Jonathan Bonaparte Tengbe, has urged engineering and technical students at the Furabe College to use the skills they acquire to contribute meaningfully to national development. He was speaking at a public lecture where Harold Williams reports.
Speaking at the Tunde Cole Auditorium during a public lecture on the theme Sustainable Infrastructural Development and Mineral Resource Extraction, Opportunities and Constraints, Dr. Jonathan Bonaparte Tengbe highlighted Sierra Leone's vast mineral wealth, noting that out of the country's 72,000 square kilometer land mass, about 28,000 square kilometers are rich in valuable mineral resources, including diamonds, bauxite, gold, iron ore, and rutile. Dr. Tengbe highlighted the urgent need for stricter economic policies to address illegal and unregulated mining activities across the country, warning that such practices could lead to mineral depletion, land degradation, and reduced agricultural productivity. Dr. Tengbe emphasized the importance of harnessing the country's abundant natural wealth to rebuild the nation. He recommended periodic reviews of mining licenses to ensure that the benefits of the country's natural resources are fairly distributed to align with environmental impact assessments, agriculture, food security, and economic diversification policies. The lecture also reviewed the constraints in resource extraction, agricultural practices, and infrastructural development, while outlining opportunities for improvement.
You have to know the impact of the roads that you are building in the environment and how it is going to contribute to national economy and how it is going to impact on other people's lives. So it is going beyond the studies that they are doing at the moment. I want them to start to think beyond what they are doing to do, what they are doing right now, to think about how would what I'm doing be impacting on the lives of people. How do I meaningfully contribute to national development? How do I meaningfully contribute to local development, the local communities and everything else? So that is what all this lecture was about.
During the event, Dr. Tengbe officially launched the Sierra Leone chapter of the International Chartered Engineers Association aimed at encouraging young engineers to seek professional accreditation at national, regional, and international levels. Dr. Tengbe is expected to continue his public lecture series at Ernest Bai Koroma University of Science and Technology and Eastern Technical University in the coming weeks.
The ECOWAS resident representative has told students of Frabe College University of Sierra Leone that the ECOWAS Vision 2050 is people-centered, promoting and security economic integration and prosperity for all ECOWAS citizens. Ambassador John Azuma was speaking during a popularization of the ECOWAS Vision 2050 to students at Frabe College campus in Freetown. Ibrahim Samura reports.
The popularization was designed to abreast students with the various pillars in the ECOWAS Vision 2050, put together by the ECOWAS Commission as the long-term development plan for the community, serving as the collective aspirations of the people of West Africa. Ambassador John Azuma outlined the key priority areas focusing on peace, security and stability, good governance and rule of law, economic integration and interconnectivity, transformation, inclusion and sustainable development, and social inclusion. He underscored the role of students in information dissemination, the reason he said the commission engaged students of the university.
Once we talk with students, once we engage students and then they understand the concepts, they will be able to explain to the society, to their families, and then to also help to propagate.
The Planning and Coordinator Officer, ECOWAS Commission, Patrick Lamboy, took the student in a PowerPoint presentation on the various pillars enshrined in the vision to detail. He said the ECOWAS Vision 2050 is a shared, inclusive roadmap for a peaceful, prosperous, and integrated West Africa focused on people's well-being.
First pillar is peace, security, and stability. Second pillar is democracy, good governance, and the rule of law. When you see ECOWAS coming to observe elections, they are working on this pillar. When you see ECOWAS coming to facilitate conflict between SLPP and APC, they are working here. We have pillar 3, which is our mainstay. That is economic integration and interconnectivity. This is the pillar that works on regional integration.
Head of ECOWAS National Office, Ministry of Development and Economic Development, Komba Momon, spoke of a number of achievements and interventions of ECOWAS in Sierra Leone, including funds to support the Human Capital Development Project and the agriculture sector.
We were able to bring back a piece of our people. Another one is the Human Capital Development Project. ECOWAS has undertaken Human Capital Development Project in this country. They have been training young people in various areas. So most of them today, they are having their own private enterprises. So which is very good for our youth in this country.
The student described the engagement as timely, prompting a series of questions on the mandates of ECOWAS, programs, and benefits of the ECOWAS Vision 2050 to the sub-region. Ibrahim Samura, Freetown.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has commenced a 3-day training on mediation and conflict management for junior and mid-level foreign service officers. The training aims to strengthen the capacity of diplomats in conflict prevention, negotiation, and peace building. Alwyn Roy Fox reports.
As conflict and security challenges continue to affect several parts of Africa, particularly the Sahel region, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has taken a proactive step to equip its officers with practical skills in mediation and conflict resolution. The 3-day training brings together junior and mid-level foreign service officers to deepen their understanding of modern conflict dynamics and enhance their ability to contribute to peace-building efforts at both national and international levels. Delivering the keynote address at the opening ceremony, the Director General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Alan Logan, underscored the importance of diplomacy in addressing contemporary global challenges. He noted that the training comes at a critical time when countries across the African continent are grappling with political instability, insecurity, and complex conflicts.
This training is timely and critical as conflicts around us are becoming more complex, prolonged, and threatening to international peace and security. They require effective resolution mechanisms to prevent violence and ease tensions between parties. The crisis in the Sahel, particularly in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger, has highlighted the complex nature of modern conflicts. Issues of governance, insecurity, and political instability.
The program will expose participants to both theoretical and practical approaches to conflict management through case studies, simulations, and interactive sessions. It is expected to strengthen participants' capacity to analyze conflicts, facilitate dialogue, and support peaceful resolutions in an increasingly complex international environment. Deputy Director General of Operations Franklin Fahundo acknowledged the support of the United Nations Development Programme and the contributions of research personnel who helped make the training possible.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to the UNDP, who are not present here, for their invaluable support in making this training program a reality. And I want to thank you all for making yourself available for such training.
The training forms part of ongoing efforts by the ministry to build a professional and responsive foreign service capable of advancing Sierra Leone's diplomatic interests while contributing to regional and global peace initiatives. SLBC News, Alwyn Roy Fox reporting.
The Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces (ASLAF), through the Sierra Leone Army, has ended its 2 days Army Command Group Conference 2026. According to the Chief of Army Staff, Major General K.T. Sisay, the conference was an opportunity to share ideas and identify current weakness and proffer solutions to tighten border security in the face of regional extremism. Moses Conte was there, now reports.
According to the 2025 Security Council report on West Africa and Sahel, there has been a marked increase in attacks by armed groups and terrorists in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, which formed the Collective Defense Arrangement Alliance of Sahel States. The situation in West Africa and the Sahel region continues to deteriorate significantly as terrorist groups continue to expand their influence and secure a greater stronghold across the region. With the theme Guarding the Lion Mountain, Enhancing Sierra Leone's Border Security in the Face of Regional Extremism, the conference was not only to analyze current threats, looking at the current state of the Sahel and how it will affect Sierra Leone, but to also develop strategies to address vulnerability in Sierra Leone's border security framework. Deputy Minister of Defense, Colonel Richard Mwana Massakoy, said the theme was an actualization of the President's agenda aimed at collaborating with ministries, departments and agencies and the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces, with each fulfilling its demands.
This presupposes that the success of the Big Five initiative agenda is contingent on the availability of the required conducive atmospheric security within the Lion Mountains. Thus, this command group conference
for the Chief of General Staff, Major General Sir David Thomas Gauja. One of the key security issues in West Africa is centered on the Sahel region, adding that over 300 million people have been displaced due to terrorist activities in the Sahel. He said, although there hasn't been any major attack to Sierra Leone, but there have been attacks on several trade corridors affecting Sierra Leone indirectly.
Biggest impact will be tighter security at key sites and economic issues like rise cost of living. As Sierra Leoneans, we need to think about how we can support the Republic of Sierra Leone forces to develop capacity, and make the army more robust and agile to respond to potential threats against our nation.
According to the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Kemo Sisise, the Sahel region faces significant security challenges, including rising extremism and terrorism, enormous contribution and dedication to navigate the complexity of extremism in the Sahel, with particular reference to Guinea and Liberia.
As we gather here today, we are united by a common goal, which is to fortify our nation's security in an increasingly complex and challenging regional environment. The Sahel region and West Africa face significant security challenges at the moment. It includes rising extremism and terrorism, which requires our collective vigilance and proactive measures.
Office of the National Security Principal Director Alhaji Kabo said one of Sierra Leone's serious vulnerabilities was a lack of legislation against terrorism. But in recent years, there have been an enactment of the Counter-Terrorism Act, which will not only be a pillar and bedrock to strengthen security sector, but a stepping stone to fight terrorism. Regional extremism has not only continued to expand beyond ideology, but it remains an independent emerging security issue across West Africa due to youth unemployment and unconstitutional change of government, among many other factors. Thus, ongoing counter-terrorism in West Africa remains a huge concern. According to the Chief of General Staff, Major General Sir David Thomas Gauja, the Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces continues its commitment to collaborate with other security sectors to combat terrorism and extremism in the region. Reporting for SLBC, Moses Conte.
A Malian national who was confirmed to have lived in Sierra Leone, absconded for over 4 years, has been taken to the Mali consulate for reintegration. In this report, she confirmed to have missed direction with her husband 4 years ago. Cynthia Kamar picked up the story.
For over 4 years, a Malian national, Memunatu Samake, has been stranded at Congo Coast Signal Hill Junction with no permanent destination. She has been moving from one place to another with a mat and bag. She sleeps in shop entrances at night. Since her arrival in Sierra Leone, Memunatu has been surviving by the goodwill of Sierra Leoneans who has been supporting her. What makes her struggle intense is language barrier. Even after years in Sierra Leone, she is struggling to understand or speak another language. Abi Kamara, a petty trader at Signal Hill Junction, who befriended her, explained how constrained the lady has been in time past.
She is sleeping in the street. Some guys have been attempting to sleep with her at night. I try to accommodate her, but she doesn't trust us. We do sign language to communicate with her. I want her to be reunited with her family so her health can be restored.
Me the courage I say let's be now so now daddy one I say let go. Let God put health. Let God put health. Now na able let go.
Interpreter of Malian Bamana language to Creole, a Sierra Leonean Ali Samora, explained her experience and expectation.
This man now, I don't try for interview now. He say na here a man can na this country they lost by themselves. But according to not in the right way that I may be taken say now somebody can't left him. Yes.
According to her, she missed out with her husband 4 years ago. I believe a Sierra Leonean man brought her. She said she is from Tumatu, Bamako City. She has 2 children. All her family are in Tumatu, Bamako, Mali. She said she wants to be reunited with her family.
See, right now, you want to put inside Mutka, let go now in turn back. See, another help in want.
I was touched by her story, which prompted me to take her to the Mali consulate on Wilkinson Road. The consul of Mali, Ibrahim Haj, noted that he will communicate with the Mali ambassador about her ordeal. She was accepted by the consul as they undertake plans for a return. The consul, Ibrahim Haj, promised off camera to take responsibility for their national to ensure she is reunited with her family. For SRBC News, Cynthia Kamara reporting.
You're watching News Hour live on SRBC Television in Freetown. We continue with more stories. Sierra Leone has recently undertaken widespread sanitation efforts to keep municipal environments clean. The Citizens Outreach Coalition is complementing these efforts by performing voluntary cleaning exercises in critical hotspots. One of these areas is Edward Lane in the residential Portuguese town suburb of the capital city. Howard Williams was there and our reports.
Edward Lane is typical of many residential streets in Freetown. The road is in an obvious need of repair, and the erosion of the retaining culverts adjacent to the street allows dirt and other sediments to clog the drainage. Plastic bottles and crumbled masonry also contributes to the obstruction inflow of wastewater. Edward Lane is almost on a straight level, which means that the residues are hindered from flowing into the main outlet points of Campbell Street and Ferguson Streets. The stagnant water thus becomes a breeding ground for germs, bacteria, and parasite-carrying vectors, such as mosquitoes. Citizens Outreach Coalition is helping residents appreciate the necessity of keeping their surroundings clean. Malam Conte is the organization's country director.
The community, as my team, including ladies and boys, they are visiting residents from different communities, especially the Edward Lane community. They are entering house to house, sensitizing people what they should do so that mosquito cannot breed in their compound and they will be free from malaria. But there are measures that my team is explaining to them that this is the measure that you have to put in place so that you can free from mosquito.
Edward Lane is just one of the dozens of streets that comprise the city road network, but the hope of connecting with such efforts is that other citizens will emulate it and undertake self-help initiatives in their respective locations.
According to a report from the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission, communities in the region have raised concerns over continuously paying for electricity bills, even when they suffer blackout, and operators forcefully removing meters from people's homes for debts, even when they suffer blackout. This report came during a press briefing at the Commission's office in Freetown, where media personalities were updated on the MYTO engagements in the regions. Suleiman Bature has more.
We really want to have a complete ban on the land issue before we want to
focus on what the customer wants.
The report was the results gathered from the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission's National Roadshow engagement, which aimed at democratizing the multi-year tariff order MITO and strengthening consumer participation in the energy sector. In doing so, the Commission engaged 229 community stakeholders and 20 communities in 5 regions, including Moyamba, Bo, Kono, Bombali, and Potloko. People in the report said they were willing to pay the high mini-grid tariffs if they received reliable and high-quality electricity supply. In Moyamba and Koribondo, according to the report, concerns were raised for continuously paying of electricity bills, even when they suffer blackout for a full month. In Kono and Makeni, the researchers observed serious breakdown of dialogue between operators and community leaders, while the people in Mara and Musaya continue to endure a 2-year blackout due to battery depreciation. In Bompe community, it was observed that ongoing roadwork has destroyed drainages, causing flooding of low-mounted meters and the abandonment of mini-grid poles in the center of newly paved roads, while Foredugu has been without mini-grid electricity supply for over 2 years. In Konakridi in Potloko district, it was stated that daily mini-grid electricity supply uptime has reduced from 20 hours to 3 hours, followed by system maintenance delays. Upon all these, plus concerns on blind meters, communication errors, and people not being able to read and see electricity tokens, the researchers say operators forcefully remove meters from people's homes, requesting they pay their debts.
And for us as a commission, we thought that for a multi-year tariff to be effective and for there to be a multi-year tariff increase, the public has to embrace and consumers in the rural communities. These highlight issues must be addressed accordingly.
The Deputy Minister of Energy and the Deputy Director General of the Sierra Leone Electricity and Water Regulatory Commission pledged to address the concerns raised as the project aimed at building a transparent, accountable and consumer-centered energy sector for all Sierra Leoneans.
The Commission should remain committed to maintaining the momentum generated by this campaign. Additional consultations should be held to ensure stakeholders are fully informed as tariff determinations are finalized.
We observe a significant improvement in public understanding of how electricity tariffs are determined. Communities increasingly recognize that tariffs are based on objective and transparent calculations rather than arbitrary decisions.
This is to exhibit the Commission's commitment to transparency in its regulatory operations. SLBC News, Saman Babature reporting.
Shika Gold College of Cosmetology, Arts and Fashion has reaffirmed its mission to elevate vocational education in Sierra Leone by hosting its
Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Baba, Hotel in Baba.
This 8th graduation ceremony showcased the college's dedication to strengthening Sierra Leone's middle-level workforce, with a particular focus on empowering women through hands-on expertise in fields such as nails technology, makeup artistry, among many others. The graduation emphasized the role of women in driving national development and equipping them with marketable skills to thrive in the modern economy. Established women leaders shared insight with graduates on how to leverage their knowledge to positively impact society. Entrepreneur Awanatu Toure underscored the importance of skills development as a cornerstone for success in present-day Sierra Leone.
When people look at success, they often see the finished products. They see the crown, the business, the achievements, all the recognition, but they rarely see the countless moments of doubt, sacrifice, rejection, and perseverance behind the scenes.
Managing Director Theodora Gabin Mensah stressed the college's focus on practical, job-ready results.
We started in a kitchen. have been saying or narrating year in, year out. But the good thing about it is every year I'm narrating the story. Something new adds up. Something positive adds up. Something greater adds up. Starting in a kitchen with only one student and using your house help as a student as well, and cleaners at this facility as students as well, and having this number of students here today is a great achievement.
Deputy Accreditation Officer of the National Council for Technical Vocational Education praised the college's effort in empowering women in present-day Sierra Leone. Graduates expressed immense satisfaction with their specialized training, noting that the skills acquired will enable them to bridge the gap.
This is my first big graduation after high school, and I'll say I'm just overwhelmed because I never expected it. Although I believe in myself and I am a person that does not give up, I knew I would be here, but at the same time, I didn't expect it. It's mostly the certificate. I had to read a poem and it was so good.
By aligning vocational training with the rigor of traditional degree programs, Shika Gold College continues to inspire a new generation of professionals and reshaping the narrative around vocational education in Sierra Leone. Abdul Kabir, SLBC News, Freetown.
Well, we now go over to our entertainment desk for the latest in the entertainment world.
Hello and welcome to another update of our exciting entertainment news with me, Abdul Mansari. In this edition of entertainment news, SLBC at 16, DG Josephine Kamara speaks on plans for SLBC. And of course, we'll ride you through happenings in the reality TV show House of Stars. And finally, we have Aisat releases cover of Jungle Leader's song Love Not to Pass Money. Eh. Now, on the 15th June 2010, the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Service transitioned into the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. It's now 16 years since the transition, and the staff and management celebrates the success stories with games and entertainment. In an interview with the SLBC Entertainment Desk, the Director General of SLBC, Josephine Fatima Kamara, spoke on plans for the public broadcaster.
I think the branding for don't change by now. Let people then not look at SLBC as government owned, but as a national broadcaster where they seek the public interest. Me wants na local content. So we they reach out, we they encourage entertainers. House of Stars, Housemate Sierra Leone, if you notice, even with limited resources, we still they try for squeezing so that Sierra Leonean entertainers them go be heard. Hopefully by the end of this month or towards mid-July, we will get the entertainment channel back full force. But una get for fan one room. I see we they make the small studio where they up there. We don't make one big studio, we main television studio. We try for finalize the other small studio where they upstairs. Hopefully by the end of this month, we will get studio. So until I don't go to host on our entertainment.
And now, the House of Stars reality TV show is on and week 10 gone, with 10 in the house. And one of the twins, Jacob MCC, taking the voting lead, King Embassy second, Orica Charles third, and Joseph TLCC at the bottom. With just 2 weeks to the grand finale, who will win this edition? The season 3. No eviction so far. The most exciting story for the House of Stars weekend is the release of the song done by the stars themselves. The song is out on YouTube, Facebook and other social media handles.
You move the way you move, you dey bust my brain like no move. The things you do, the things you do, none of them girl can do what you do. You na bad man flavor, da 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 da. Girl you got that flavor. Da 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 da, you na bad man flavor. Da 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 da. you got that flavor.
It's really nice and yummy. Good one. And finally, the cover of Love Not to Pass Money, done by the young Sierra Leonean Afrobeat artist, Aissat. As usual, she did it in a melodic and soft manner that appeals to the soul. We got the video from her Facebook page. Let's have it.
Tell me why you they run by me, why you they lie to me, yeah. Why you they hide by me, love not to pass money, yeah. Why you no go be a me, oh. Say the time we go give we money, yeah. Why you they run by me, love not to pass money, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sweet indeed. Don't forget, today is the SLBC's birthday, Sweet 16. And of course, that's all we have for you in this edition of Entertainment News. And I have been your presenter, Abdul Mansari. Bye-bye.
Up next is the sports update.
Thank you so much. It's the sporting updates that keeps you in the know. Now, the FIFA 2026 Men's Football World Cup is shaping up to be a cracker. Interesting matches for the African teams. Well, for the Pharaohs of Egypt to play against Belgium, so that's 1-1 draw. That was an exciting match from the Pharaohs indeed. And, you know, they've got a team that is well balanced, a team that is stable and focused. The Africans are showing the rest of the world that they are ready for this 2026 World Cup. We've seen interesting results, wonderful display, and also from the Elephants of Ivory Coast, we saw that exciting performance. Amad Diallo with that goal, and that was a brilliant goal indeed as well. The Blue Sharks of Cape Verde, well, I'll say the debutant, they are not playing as debutant, they are playing as olders in the game. They've really established themselves as a team with huge mental toughness. You know, when the Africans are playing, we are enjoying football. So for teams around the world, they should look out for the very best in terms of the African game. Well, African football has improved rapidly, and we've seen the emergency of young and exciting players who are proving so well in the league, like the Moroccan midfielder Ayoub, who dominated the Brazilian, the Sanakawa of Brazil, including Casimiro, one of the best midfielders at present. You know, having a young midfielder who is coming to the ranks, surpassing his abilities and skills, is something very much good. And I hope other youngsters watching these players gracing the biggest stage in terms of world football will emulate the shining examples, so that at the end of the day they'll have something good. You can dairy among players, you know, Vinicius Junior and that of Ashraf Hakimi, you know, the Moroccan international. Things are really shaping up nicely for the African teams in the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Well, tomorrow we'll see another exciting matches, and the Black Stars of Ghana are getting themselves ready for their opening match against Panama. And interestingly, we've seen from the Japanese fans who, well, they are so unique in a way. It's novelty. They've been cleaning the stadiums after matches. So this is good. I hope other nations will emulate as well, because that in itself will send a bigger statement in terms of how the game is going. And that ends your update, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
Well, that was the sports update, and now to end the news, the main points again. Over 300 media practitioners convened in Makeni over the weekend to observe the 55th annual general meeting of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists with the theme Strengthening Sierra Leone's Economy Through Responsible Journalism. As Sierra Leone continues discussions on governance reforms and national cohesion, stakeholders from the government, academia, civil society, political parties, and the media have gathered in Freetown to examine the prospects of introducing proportional representation at the executive level. Organized by the Faculty of Leadership and Governance at IPAM, the National Roundtable seeks to explore alternative governance models aimed at promoting inclusiveness, stability, and sustainable peace. And the All People's Congress APC party has been thrown into mourning following reports of the death of its national chairman, Honorable Minkailo Mansare. According to information received, the Honorable Mansare passed away on Monday, June 15, 2026. However, details surrounding the circumstances of his death have not been yet officially disclosed. Well, that's how we wrap up this edition of News Hour from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I've been your news anchor, Daphne Zainab Kamara. Thanks for watching. Good night and keep watching the SABC.